Hello guys, I am coming to you to announce a new series that I'm going to start doing on YouTube. I've announced that I'm doing a new series for this channel, essentially giving a voice to other sex workers to share their stories if they would like to. Nobody's being forced to. It is voluntary submissions to me via email. There is information on this on my website, but it can be any area of sex work, whether they are an escort, whether they are an OnlyFans star, whether they do porn, whether they're just a dancer, any part of sex work. I am happy for them to submit, and they don't even have to still be doing the job. They can be retired and just have stories from back when they used to do it. Anything that they are wanting to share, but it is only for workers themselves to submit. Unfortunately, not for clients. It's not a client's horror stories about providers. Maybe we'll do that at some point if this, series has enough traction. Anyway, I knew it was going to be hard to start off with because obviously when you're launching a series, you don't have anyone interested in the series in order to submit their stories. But I do have 4 and I'm very happy with that to start off with. I'm just very grateful that anyone submitted in anything for me. Rupert and I are going to continue on to read the first one, okay? So I have my trusty little laptop here so that I can read it word for word. So my first submission is from Layla White, and she has explicitly said here that I can shout out her social media, so I will also type them in the description bar below. She says, "Hey babe, just wanted to send a few experiences I've had that I thought would be funny to throw in. Being a full service and doing OnlyFans, you get a lot of weird things happen, as you know. My links, her Instagram is It's Layla White, her TikTok is It's Layla White, and her X or Twitter is It's Layla White, and I will list all of those below." Now, she's got 2 short stories here. The first one, she says, "Okay, so the first story, which was pretty unique, was one of my OnlyFans subscribers who asked me to film a custom shooting grapes out of my vagina." Like projectile shooting them out, like what I've done with crystals. But grapes of all things. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. He wanted to see them get put in and shot out with force and then me eating them. And he sent me the money for bags of grapes to get the scenes perfect. Oh my God. I would love customs like these. I think on OnlyFans it's a bit tricky because we're not allowed to do food content, right? I know I got a strike for the videos I made shooting crystals out of mine. I loved doing that video, but I think Fansly's a lot more friendly for this kind of thing. But this absolutely seems like fun. Like this is a funny thing and like a once in a career kind of request. So I'm manifesting that I get more unique ones because I love doing stuff like this so that I have more stories. Okay, the next one, she says, "Next guy was a client I saw in Brisbane for a 1-hour GFE, but he wanted me to play with his belly button constantly throughout the booking. And when I did, he would let out the loudest moan each time." I don't know what to say to this one because I actually have a bit of a phobia of belly buttons. Not as much other people's belly buttons, but mine, like being touched. I just think belly buttons are gross. Like I really think they're gross. I don't know. I don't know how well I would have done at this booking, but I've certainly never heard anything like this before. That is definitely unique. And I mean, hey, he's not hurting anybody. I hope for your sake that he mentioned it before the booking. I always appreciate when my clients, if they have something very niche or specific, they give me a heads up ahead of time. That way I have a second to like process what I am getting into and like what I'm gonna have to do. But yeah, that is wild. Thank you so much for submitting both of your stories. I'm so grateful for the submissions. So that is from Layla. Again, her handles will be below. Okay, this next one is actually just one long story. I'm really excited to read this one. So this person has sent this in saying, "Anonymous please." So I can't share with you who this has come from. So yes, we've just got the story. It's an anonymous full service sex worker. So it reads, "I saw this client in an establishment a few years back. He argued with me during my intro about extras prices, saying mine were too high for him and no girl had asked him to pay that much before." Like how high? Like surely not. They love to whinge and moan to try to get out of things. "I gave him some attitude and told him his financial issues weren't my problem." I told him his financial issues weren't my problem and to pick someone in his price range. Valid, absolutely valid. It was about 3 AM if I remember correctly, so there was only one other girl on shift. So he had no other choice really. He booked me. He booked me. Reluctantly, I took it as I needed the money. We get into the room and this man is stuttering and shaking only slightly. Didn't think too much of it at the time. He gets in the shower and I'm setting up the room really quick and then come to the shower to chat to him as he's still in there. He did take quite a long shower, to be honest with you. He comes out, we start the service and he's laying on his back. I do the blowjob, I ride him for a bit, and then we swap into missionary. At this point, I can smell something. I smell shit. I thought maybe he farted, no big deal. I'm doing my thing, trying not to break character. Girl, you're good at your job. We moved into doggy and I see it. A massive brown streak, long and skinny, where he had been laying originally. It looked like it had been dragged upwards when he moved. Anyway, he finished up while I was in doggy, looking at his shit stain. Girl, I'm literally picturing you like making noises and just being completely distracted by this stain. Okay, where was I up to? He finished up while I was in doggy, looking at his shit stain. When he finished, he plopped himself back on the bed on top of his shit mark. Yes, that in capitals. He must have had no idea it was there. After a couple of minutes, I told him to go and shower, and while he was in there, I stripped the bed and balled it up. And he never said a word about it so that I wouldn't embarrass him. After he left, I did have to let the manager know as the sheet needed to be thrown out. She was shocked as he was a venue regular and she'd never heard of anything like that happening before. I think he was genuinely scared of me for telling him off in the intro, so much so that he pooped himself. Poor guy. Okay, this is wild. You know, things happen, like we're all human, and like I understand this is part of being a full service worker. For me, I've definitely had incidences surrounding poop before, but generally when it's a client that's asked for backdoor services from me, like pegging or anything like that, right, like prostate massage, etc. And that comes with the territory, right? When I am doing those services, I completely understand that there is a high chance that poop will be involved. And that doesn't really gross me out because I'm like bracing for it. But from what she's saying in this story, there wasn't any backdoor action. There wasn't any reason for the poop. So yeah, anyway, I do feel sorry for him. I'm glad he never noticed because he's likely going about his life confident as pie. And you did a really good job. You did a really fucking good job. So wild. That really just like, that blew it out of the park for me. Okay. Moving on to the next one because we only have one more. I'm so glad that we have a few. I can't wait till like a point in time when we have like 10 different stories we can go over in the one video. I'm looking forward to it. And I also hope we get a lot more like online content and like strippers and stuff participating in this because I'd love like all sorts of stories. Anyway, here I am yapping and getting sidetracked. Also, I hope you guys like my stickers. This is the last one for this video. So I guess we better savor it because who knows if anyone will ever submit a story again. This one I've typed out on here. So as I've written here, this one was submitted to me on Instagram and I'm assuming this person wants to stay anonymous as they aren't a massive user of social media. So this girl sent this through to me. I know who she is. I've met her before. She's not big on social media, so I don't think she wants me to do a shout out. If at a later date she changes her mind, I'm happy to put her stuff in the comments, like in the description below. But she just sent this through at this pretty much like as soon as I announced I was starting this series, she sent this story through. So she says, I used to joke with clients, I can't deep throat or I'll vomit. One day I had a doctor come into a Brisbane brothel on a heap of drugs off his face. He asked me to throw up on him during a blowjob as this was a fetish for him. I'd never done that before, but I was open to trying it and said I would do it for $100 extra. We get in the room and I do the thing. Then he scooped up the spew, ate some of it, and proceeded to shove a handful of it in my face. I was like, I'm not having fun anymore. I had never consented to it being shoved in my face, my mouth, everywhere, even my lashes. So this story is a lot. Firstly, like vomit, what do they call it? What is the word for it, guys? There's something showers. Is it Romanian showers? Am I on the right track? I don't know. There is a term for vomit fetish, like within the industry, right? And I don't think it's like a super out there thing. Like, I think it's semi-common. I've definitely heard girls talk about it before, where guys got off on them like vomiting on their dick during the deep throat. Now, you know, she said here that she had never done it before, so she's kind of just like trying to like test the water, see if she could do it, see how it would go. But at no point did she consent to her face being shoved in the vomit. That's his, if he wants to lick it up, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, money's money. To shove her, to pick it up, shove it in her face, get it in her mouth, she would have had to redo her makeup. She's mentioned here that it's in her lashes. Like, in those establishments, you've got to do a lot of bookings kind of back to back to make a lot of money. So she then would have had to come out of that booking, like fully wash off and like redo her entire face and makeup, and probably her hair too, to continue on for the night. So this guy has impacted her income. It was probably traumatizing too. I can only imagine having someone throw my own vomit in my fucking face. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. If you're a client watching this series and maybe you have a little bit more unique kinks, like fetishes that you're into, please just disclose in full what you're wanting to do before you start the act. Because I'm sure if you would have said to her that that was part of the fantasy for you, she could have consented, but given you an updated price point on what it was worth to her, considering she needed to redo her makeup and everything like that, right? You can cause a lot of trauma to somebody by doing something without consent. You didn't have consent to shove it in her face. Like, this is wild. To the person who submitted this, I hope you're okay. Like, we had a little bit of a laugh about it, but I genuinely do hope you're okay, because I probably would have been a little bit shook by that. Yeah, guys, please just disclose what you're gonna do before you book us, so that we're all on the same page. Then we can all have fun and make the most of it, okay? Anyway, that is my 4 stories for today. Close this up. Rupert is loving this, apparently. I don't know what's up with him lately. He's just very needy and attached, which is fine. He just wants to be conjoined at my hip, as you can see. But yes, that is it for today's video. I'm not sure how long this will be after edits. I'm really hoping that we can generate more submissions so that these can become a little bit of a longer video, maybe like 8 to 10 submissions per video. And hopefully I would have enough volume to be able to do one of these a month. Again, you know, if your story is a little bit different to what I've read out today, please just submit it anyway if you're comfortable in doing so. And again, you don't have to share your name or anything like that. But yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know I certainly have, because I love hearing these kind of stories. So I'm sure there are people out there that will enjoy it too. And yes, Rupert and I hope you have a great night.